Hello, we are the Salon Sleuths. My name is Melissa,
And my name is Leslie.
and we are two women from the Pacific Northwest. We are both curious about paranormals, spirit guides, ghosts, past lives.
We are suspicious about true crime, disappearances, and strange phenomenons. We are open to learning about the supernatural and all things we don't understand.
Together, we're opinionated with a splash of smartass. Join us to learn. And stay curious, stay suspicious, and stay open.
Follow Salon Sleuths on all major podcast platforms. In your words, tell me what Huntington's disease is.
Oh, oh man. So it's 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 nerve wracking. It's personally it's debilitating. I feel lost. No, I feel like I'm not the same person anymore. I feel I have people judging me right down the street and thinking that I'm drinking. I'm not. It's
Today I'm going to be sharing with you and spreading awareness about the terrible disease, Huntington's disease. Now, Huntington's disease results in progressive movements, thinking, and psychiatric symptoms. This is a terrible disease. It is ALS, Parkinson's, MS, and dementia all rolled up into one nasty disease. And I have a friend from high school and from middle school that we were really good friends when we were young, and we have reconnected. And recently I found out that she has been diagnosed with this disease. Now, I do want to share with you also that this particular disease can only be transferred through your family. It is your mother or father directly. It never skips a generation. If you have never heard of this, that's a good thing. It means that you have never known anybody with the disease. If you have heard of it, chances are you know somebody who has it. It is very rare. There's no cure, but drugs and physical therapy can help a little bit, and it helps manage some of the symptoms. But ultimately, people pass away because of this disease. And today, I have an interview with my friend who I went to high school with. And middle school, most like we were really close, more in middle school and a little bit in high school, and we did reconnect shortly after graduation. And a few years ago, her brother was in the news. He was missing. And since then, he had been found. He wasn't missing very long, but he was missing. And in the article, when it says that they were looking for him, it did mention that he had Huntington's disease. So I looked that up at the time and I just said, oh, it's like a neurological thing. I kind of dismissed it. I didn't think much of it. But then realizing now how much that impacted him being missing at that time, I have since then gone to visit him, and he's in a full time residential care facility, and he's only 2 years older than me. And when I went to visit, he was only really able to say very small sentences. I do believe at one time he did remember who I was, and but I just took him a few things that when I called to check in on him to see what his needs were, they just said that he could use a few t-shirts and sweatshirts. And so I went and took those things to him. And then since then, I have reconnected with my friend as well and talking to her about her disease. And from what I have learned from her is she doesn't feel like she has many of the symptoms yet. In fact, when I first talked to her, she said that she was lucky that she didn't have any yet. And then after meeting her, I realized that she has many symptoms that she's unaware of. So today I'm going to be sharing with you basically her story. I want to bring awareness to the Huntington's disease. And then I also jumped on a nonprofit for Huntington's disease here locally in Portland, Oregon, and they're going to be doing a fundraiser walk for the Huntington's disease September 11th, 2021. If anybody would like to join me in on that. And if you did go to high school with me and my friend Danita, then I would love for you to come out and at least share some support with her or for her. And anyway, here is her story. Thank you.
Says it's an inherited condition that it affects the nerve cells in the brain and breaks down over time. It typically starts in the 30s
Yes.
or 40s, and it results in progressive movements, thinking, and psychiatric problems. And no cure is in existence, but drugs and physical therapy and talk therapy can help manage the symptoms. Now, you said you didn't think you had any symptoms, or you feel like you don't, but then people mention it, right? So I'm going to go
Oh
through.
yeah, like my mom.
Yeah, I'm going to go through some of these, and I just want you to say yes or no if you feel like you have been affected by this. Okay.
Oh, that'd be
Abnormally.
wonderful, honey. Thank you so much.
Yeah, here we go. So, do you walk abnormally?
Yeah.
Do you have increased muscle activity, like
Yes.
involuntary movements of muscles?
A little bit.
Okay. Involuntary movements. I guess that's kind of the same
Yes.
thing. Problems with
Yes,
coordination.
I do. A little bit. Yes.
Okay. Loss of muscle,
Not yet.
muscle spasms,
Um, not yet.
okay. How about amnesia? Do you forget things?
Oh, all the time, honey.
Okay. How
All
about
the time.
delusion? Do you ever like,
No,
no, okay. Lack of
not
concentration?
yet. Not like my mom.
Okay.
You said lack of oxygen, honey.
Lack of
Well, poor
concentration.
mama. Oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Okay. How about mental confusion?
Not really.
Okay. How
Thank
about
goodness.
slowness in your activities? Do you do things slower than
Oh
you normally would
yeah.
have?
Oh yeah, honey. Because I'm so depressed. And dude, they gave me a medication, and the medication doesn't work. And so I was just thinking, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what the medication is called. But Patrick to the counselor with me, honey, over the Oregon Health Plan. I mean, OHSU,
Yeah.
like a couple weeks ago, and the medication didn't even work.
Well,
It's supposed to help with sleeping and eating and
yeah.
tossing and turning my movements a little bit. But so it's like 0.05%. And so I took it, and it hasn't been working. So I called the doctor to see if we can get like a different medication. It sucks having insomnia and tossing and turning
Yeah.
every night. It just wears on you, and you feel like you're brain dead because you can't sleep,
Yeah.
and you should toss and turn because you have the disease, and then you lose weight because you can't. So I can't continue. I'm trying to eat more food and eat healthier, but I burn the calories because I'm just tossing and turning at night because I can't sleep because of the insomnia.
Yeah. Okay, here, let's go back to the list. Do you have
Yeah.
difficulty thinking and understanding?
Yes.
Okay. How
Oh,
about compulsive
not
behaviors? Do you do things just compulsively?
in a good way
Okay.
because I'm super bored, honey.
Okay. How about
And I don't have a lot
fidgeting?
of money.
Do you fidget?
Yes, I
Okay. Do you
do,
get
honey.
irritable?
Yes.
Okay. How about you did mention depression.
Yeah.
How about you don't do hallucinations? Do you get paranoid at all?
No.
Okay. How about
No,
anxiety?
honey. No hallucinations and no paranoia. Yes.
Okay. And how about mood swings? Do you have that?
I do, honey.
Okay. How about difficulty
And they told me
speaking?
that it was from postpartum. Yeah, a little bit. I call it a little bit.
Okay. How about memory loss and tremors?
No tremors.
Okay. And you have weight loss. So I'm like, I think
not
you
so much as
probably
memory
have
loss.
like 80% of these symptoms, and you just don't even realize it. When
Okay.
did people
I mean,
say that they saw some of the symptoms, when they were all starting to get concerned for you? How long ago was that?
That was. See, that's the thing, honey. With my mom and my brother, they were showing such obvious signs to me but I didn't realize that that's what it was. So for me, like I knew. So I saw a doctor after Adam was born in California, and he told me because I couldn't afford to get tested in California. I mean, the blood work.
Yeah.
So in California, I was worried because I thought maybe because the doctor told me, and I was really mostly concerned for Adam's sake if I had it when when I was depressed in California, because I was super depressed and I'd be crying when I was pregnant and I didn't know what was wrong with me. But Mom and Bob were have been showing signs, and but nobody really knew except for me, and because I know them, so well, they were showing signs, but I guess I kind of got distracted. Sorry. So so when my mom and my brother were deteriorating and I was pregnant and I was crying all the time, I went into the doctor when my mom came down to visit, and the doctor told me that one doctor told me I had postpartum, and they gave me medication, and then I said, well, and then I didn't get over the depression, honey. So in California, I went to go see. I couldn't afford the genetics testing in California because it was Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so I was driving my husband crazy, and I said, Ryan, I really want to get tested for Adam's sake because if I need to get a life insurance policy. I need because I used to be a real estate agent for 12 years at First Team Real Estate, honey.
Danita, other than the depression, do you feel like there were other symptoms at that time, that long ago?
Uh, um, the, the, yes, but I just didn't realize it, honey. Like my brother and my mom, I didn't realize that how bad they had it because they would never get tested. Because I
Was
could
there
tell
any
that
like a
we would be.
significant situation that happened in California that would cause huge concern and then it led to finding out about your disease?
Well, that's why. See, that's why I was so it sucked so bad being married because Ryan didn't believe that I. Ryan, so there, yeah. I guess my world started to crumble when Ryan and I were starting to separate, and I had to keep all that stuff in. But the problem was I was trying to protect my mom and Bobby, and I was trying to hold all that stuff in from Ryan because Ryan is a lawyer, and
And do
so I
you
was
think
trying to
that
protect them.
do you think if you didn't
So I,
have the Huntington's disease or your family that you would still have like a happy marriage right now?
oh, yeah, oh yeah,
You think
oh
it
yeah,
was
hell yeah,
this illness
yeah.
has
Because I was, yeah,
yeah.
honey. Because I see the problem is like my mom and my brother, they were not themselves mentally. Because I could tell one day Bobby would be nice and like my mom, they would be nice, and then and then all of a sudden they would just go off on us or start calling us names or say things that was unusual,
And have
like
you ever done
just
that? Do
basic.
you feel like you've had that same behavior?
That's yeah, and that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But then that's what I feel like I'm going through, but I don't notice, but other people do, and so
Yeah.
that's why
Well, and just like that, your
each.
mom and Bobby
But
didn't
mom
know, right? Your mom and Bobby didn't
with
realize.
mom and Bob's, yes,
Right. And so you're kind of in
yeah,
that
exactly, and
situation.
they
Yeah.
thought they were no, yeah, dude, and they
Because
would
they
just
can't
look at
help
me
it.
with like my mom with this big, yeah, and they feel like they're normal, but because they can't when you're talking and you have HD like I am. Like sometimes I'll kind of stutter and I'll say, "Oh my God, there's my Tourette." I'll notice, when I but that's physical for me. But mentally, I feel like I'm not like I'm not as bad as Mom and Bob were because I don't really just say stupid stuff. To be honest, stupid stuff. To be honest with you, honey,
Like what kind
yet.
of stupid
But
stuff would they
I
say?
shouldn't say stupid stuff. What they would just say, like my mom, they were delusional. They were saying like they would um they would just kind of say spat out something that didn't make sense, or just reply back with stuff that was not where that was that reply back to me or other people in front of me that was out of character for them. It's like, whoa, I don't want to say because it's not about education, but yeah, I could just tell that they were becoming children. They're like more childlike
Yeah.
and very immature.
Is like
So I
you're
think
comparing yourself to them, and your symptoms might be coming
Yeah,
out differently than they had.
yes,
Right. So
that's
then
right,
you may
Anita.
not see yours because you don't see the same things that they were presenting.
Right, exactly, Annie.
Yeah. So yours are
Yes.
just different.
Yep, that's
And I think because you have like, it says that people with Huntington's disease lose apathy. And I don't see that in you yet. I
right.
mean, it could happen later. It's just like your lack of enthusiasm
See,
for
that's
things.
right. That's right. Oh, that's where I was going,
Yeah, and
Annie.
you're like flat,
Yes,
and you're
Annie, that's
not flat
exactly what
yet.
it
Like
was. And
they
they were
that keeps coming up like on all these like different forums that I'm seeing, and I don't see that in you, but I do see probably 80% of these other um symptoms, and that's why like I'm concerned to get you the help that you need now so that you can do a lot of things for yourself as long as you can until you're no longer able to, right?
oh,
So
hell
the whole
yeah.
point of this
Yeah.
podcast and the GoFundMe is to allow you
Good.
some of those freedoms while you still have them.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Unlike mom and Bob.
So I think
And
there was an
for
incident though with your son, wasn't there? And you said you were going to try to bring him up here, and it was kind of scary. I think it scared him. Can you tell me a little bit more about that story?
oh, so I was trying to, so for a long time, my whole life, I was been trying to keep, I just stay around healthy people, and that's why I only smoke marijuana, and I don't do drugs, and I barely drink anymore. But I was trying to separate, I was trying to protect Adam from anybody, as you do as a mom, from especially people that are your family members, from people that are unhealthy. Because I would have never had Adam as my son, honey. I would have never had a son if I didn't want him to have the funnest, outgoing, easygoing lifestyle possible. And dude, that's why I became a real estate agent. So I could come back and forth from California to Oregon. But then I
As you
met
can
Ryan,
tell,
my
Danita has
husband,
a hard
and
time
I
staying
moved in, and my
on topic
and
and on what
so
we're
I said, well,
talking
mom, I
about.
met this
She
wonderful
tends to
guy,
trail off, and
and
it
he
is
loved my
always about her
mom
family.
and his
And one thing
grandmother,
is for
and my
sure that
mom
her
knew
family is
Bobby,
super important to
and
her.
Bobby wasn't
And
happy
I would
about me
say
getting
that
married, but I felt like
probably nothing more important to
mom
her
was
than
so
her
sick
son,
and Bobby at that
and
time, honey,
probably the
and so
legacy
he said,
that
well,
she
as long as
wants for him.
Ryan
She
takes care of
is
my
worried
baby,
about him
and
getting the same
so I was
disease.
trying to
He's at a
protect
50-50
Adam
chance
from
at this
all
point.
healthy,
And
from
typically,
around
children don't get
unhealthy
tested
people. But at that time,
until they
even though
become
my mom
adults,
gave
unless
me
they have
Ryan the
symptoms.
blessing
And
to
if a
get married
child
and
does show
have
symptoms,
Adam
it's
with all of
called
Ryan's
juvenile
like
Huntington's
college
disease.
buddies and
And in that
all
case, the disease
Ryan's
progresses
family there and
usually
my
5 times
family,
faster,
um,
and
and
which means their
to have
lifespan
him.
is
And
much
so
shorter.
they gave us the blessing,
So
and I had
back to our
Adam.
interview.
But I had Adam when I had Adam, I was like super protective of him, and I was like in denial about the disease in general. Because I thought, you know why, Leslie? I was so nervous about doing a podcast a couple weeks ago, and I was nervous about coming to your shop, honey, to do it. Is because I felt like I still don't have it, and so that's what I've been trying to protect Adam from, from this, well, from unhealthy people. But that's why I don't know. I just got distracted again. Damn it. Oh
Well, okay,
man,
so
I've
Danita,
got.
one thing that I've
Let's see.
noticed with you too, the first thing I noticed with you is your voice is low. It's so much different than it
Okay.
used to be.
Oh.
Has
Oh.
anybody
It
ever said
is.
that to
I
you?
wonder. No, because a lot of people think my voice kind of sounds sexy. No, no,
No, I'm
just
not saying
kidding.
it's not.
No,
I'm
it
just
is.
saying that
Honey, that's I wonder what. I
it's
wonder if
so
that has
much
anything
different
to do
from
with
when we were
HD.
kids. It's
Oh, do I sound like older? I feel
it
older.
just sounds really
My voice is.
low. Like I was just
I
shocked
wonder.
because it didn't sound like that before. But then, we were kids. I
You,
don't know exactly. My voice is probably lower. But then I didn't know if that was
no,
something
you.
also with Huntington's disease. Do you ever have any problems
That's.
swallowing or
Oh,
anything like that?
not really, not yet, honey. But
Okay.
dude, that's funny that you noticed that,
Oh,
because your voice.
immediately. That
Because
was the first thing I
I
noticed. Yes.
wonder. Did you notice it, honey, when I came to see you in the shop
Yep.
or on the phone for the first
I
time?
don't think we
Oh, when you came
I
when
can't remember if we even I don't think we had talked in person before that.
okay. Okay, so when I came to the shop then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, Eddie. So when I said no, if I tried to no, no, because this is my normal. That's what a good. You know what? That's funny because I'm trying to think if my mom and my brother Bob, if their voices changed too. Now that I think about it, that's funny because I wonder if that's a trade. Dude,
Well,
the
and
things
that's
that
why I
you
was
think of
wondering
are some. It's
that's why I was
remarkable.
wondering if
I
like
would have
maybe you
never
had
thought.
problems with your throat or if you had problems swallowing because maybe that would and maybe be a reason
Oh,
why I
girl, you're
noticed that
so
your voice was so
smart.
long.
Leslie, oh my God, dude, that, well, I'll tell you what. So when I was in Cal, oh, good call, honey. I love you, girl. Oh my God, it's funny you notice these things. And we haven't even seen each other in so damn long.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is when I did kind of notice a little bit that mom and not so much Bobby, but mom's voice was changing as well. But hers was yeah, that's so funny. Yeah,
So
because the
no,
throat
you noticed
muscles,
that your mom's
yeah, they
was
start to
changed?
get weak. Yeah, hers were. I noticed. That's funny you say that because now looking back on it, I definitely noticed that my mom's voice changed, but
Did it go
Bobby's
lower?
has not. Bobby's is just, as you know, super quiet.
Well,
But
and
yeah,
his
I
was
noticed
already
that my
he was a
mom's was.
boy. His was already low. So did your mom's
Oh
voice go
yeah.
lower? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did. It definitely was. Now I think about that, honey. Yeah, she was definitely more quiet and not talking. I'd have to be like, "Mom, are you okay?" And she would, or she was always grumpy. Didn't want to talk to me about anything at all, honey. And so yeah, so now I know how my mom and my brother feel when they're going through all this depression and holding everything in and all this crap building up in their body and their brains for many years, like me, and they were deteriorating, but they wouldn't tell us exactly what they needed. Like I'd be like, Bobby, I gotta help.
Well, they
Let
just
me
didn't
help
know
you
what
with
they
this.
needed.
Let me, yeah, and they would be so stubborn like me. They'd be like, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. But I'd be like, well, we better you're more depressed than normal. And see, I don't know how long that this shit has been kicking in their systems. Like me, my mom and Bob got diagnosed or got sick, unfortunately, last minute. But I actually had Adam at 35 thinking that I was in the clear and I didn't have it. And that's why I thought I was so confused. Like, oh my God, this so that's why I started like really thinking about it because they told me I had postpartum, and so then it really bummed me out. I mean, I really stopped taking care of myself in California. Because then I pulled my head out of my ass, and I said, "Oh my God, I think I might have it like Mom and Bob, because I have depression, and now I got to focus on Adam." And so, I started reading up as much as I could about HD and California, and I was gonna try to see put get mom and my mom and her husband Gary on with people that are supportive, like Huntington's websites and stuff like that. Um, but mom was still in denial, and she wouldn't get tested. But come to find out, that's why, and that's why I had it, and I was still in denial as well, like them. But
Yeah.
I was showing signs of feeling depressed because of the HD.
The HDSA, which stands for the Huntington's Disease Society of America, will be hosting a Portland Team Hope Walk on Saturday, September 11th at 10 a.m. It is at the Floyd Light Middle School. You can register or make a donation at www.hdsa.org/THW Portland, which stands for the Hope Walk Portland. All proceeds support HDSA's mission to improve the lives of people affected by Huntington's disease and their families. Huntington's disease is a fatal genetic disorder that causes progressive breakdown of the nerves in the brain. It deteriorates a person's physical and mental abilities during their prime working years and has no cure. Every child of a parent with HD has a 50-50 chance of inheriting this faulty gene. Today, there are approximately 41,000 symptomatic Americans and more than 200,000 people at risk of inheriting this disease. If you want to help support Danita personally, you can go to her GoFundMe page. You can find it on our Facebook page. You can also find it by going to GoFundMe and putting in the search Danita Little's Battles Huntington's disease, and it will pop right up. I do thank you if you've listened this far, and I do appreciate you taking the time to hear about my childhood friend. Thank you.